Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. This is an update video and I'm going to have a little bit of design information sprinkled in here and there. I don't actually have any pending or pressing things that I want to talk about design-wise, but I'm very interested in hearing what you might want to hear about design-wise, so please comment below if you have something that you want me to talk about, or I'm also going to be posting on Instagram, so you could post there and a comment to me about what it is you want to hear about. Because yeah, I'm just planning to do an update video today, and my next video will probably just be an update video. I do have some stuff cooking on design-wise, which I'm going to be talking a little bit about today, and as things progress, I'll be talking more and more about those. So anyway, let's get to it. So I have a finished object. This is my Arboreal sweater by Knit Love Wool, Jennifer Steingass. Very, very popular pattern. I did it as a knit along on her Instagram page, and the knit along ended on February 28th, which was just a few days ago. And yeah, I made it. So excited. I talked a lot about the yarn. I'm going to put a picture in so you can see what it looks like instead of trying to stand up and like move around so you can see it. But basically I marled a bunch of fingering weight yarns. Marling is holding two strands together, two or more strands together, to create a color, speckly color, or maybe not speckly. I actually learned to marl in 1985 when I was working for Joan Vass. I'll insert a couple pictures of her marled sweaters. We held 4 strands together to make a bulky weight. It was usually a combination of like 2 worsted weights with a couple lighter weight texture-y yarns, and we hand knit. The sweaters then retailed for around $700 or so. That was I don't even want to do the math on how many years ago, 30 something years ago. So I'm sure they'd retail for more. And you can still find them in the secondary hand market. Yeah, anyway, that's my marled story. So that's when I learned about marling, and I was 20 then. So this 2 strands together is nothing. I did 4 strands together for a big Fashion Avenue designer, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the details of what I did yarn-wise to combo this. I did it 2 episodes ago. I really went through all of the different yarns that I used, but I'll put the yarn that I used for this sweater in the show notes so you can find it there. And if you just go back 2 episodes to episode 6, you'll see I take you through the steps of what I did and how I marled the yarn. Yeah. So yeah, I have a finished object. I have 2 more whips that are about to be finished objects. They're both sweaters. If you're a new viewer, you may not know, but I'm really kind of a garment knitter. I do shawls, and occasionally I do some home goods like pillows, blankets, whatever, throws. So my 2 whips that I have nearly finished. I am on the sleeves on both of them. Martha is wearing one of them. Get you in here, Martha. Squeeze in. So this is the Stanham cardigan, and if you watched a couple weeks ago, you may remember that I signed up for a test knit, and a test knit for Blacker yarns, and we had the option of using a new yarn that she's coming out with called Jacob, made from Jacob. I actually don't know what the yarn is called, but it's made from Jacob, which is a breed of sheep. And I opted to not use the Jacob yarn because, as far as I could tell, the colors are really limited, and I could only knit it in the colors that the original designer knitted the sweater in. So I wanted to, I don't know, I also looked through my stash. Like, I realized that I could have ordered it, and I do have opportunity still to get some Blacker yarns, which I am absolutely going to do. I have a couple ideas. I've been obsessively looking at her website. So as a thank you to her test knitter, she gave us a 20% discount on any yarns that we want to buy from her website. So I have that. I'm going to be doing that soon, and I'll be maybe I might have designed something with it. I am not sure. But yeah, so this is the Stanham cardigan. Wait, let me show you the schematic. It is here. So you can see the whole thing. You can kind of see it from my sweater because I'm almost done. But that's the schematic of the sweater. It has cables. It's raglan sleeve with cables down the front and back, as you can see. My sweater that Martha's wearing is unblocked. So I used a superwash yarn. I used Lolodidit superwash merino nylon, her everyday sock base, which I think is a 75-80, or sorry, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be fun. Hang on. It's 75-25 merino and nylon. And yeah, I don't have any cards, so I'll just put the information on the screen. But yeah, this is the base of the sweater. What you're looking at is Blackberry Jam color, and it's full of black speckles and orange speckles, as you can see from the yarn here. It's just beautiful. I saw it on the Grocery Girls. Tracy was talking about it in a sweater. It's about a year ago that I saw the yarn, and I just fell in love with it. And I didn't realize that it was a Christmas color for Lolodidit. And I don't know. She posted it. I probably bought it last March or April. Lolodidit it. Lauren, I think is the dyer's name. She's a dyer based in Las Vegas. She posted that she was having this yarn in her update, so I grabbed 3 skeins so that I could make a a sweater's quantity of yarn. And I didn't have any idea what to do with it, and this test knit opportunity came along. I signed up. I requested to be included, and I was picked, so I was super happy. And I just kind of looked and I was like, you know what? I think this is the sweater this yarn's been waiting for. And yeah, the pattern is written so that you do a contrast lower trim as well as another color on the cuff. And then this color should also be your neck trim. And then there are pockets, which these 2 little markers are marking off, and you saw in the schematic. So there's pockets that are yet another color, and then the trim across the top of the pocket should be this color. That's not going to happen for me because I decided to use a, oh, it's here. It's here, actually, the ball bands. The ball bands are here. So I decided to use an otter romp of otter pups from Undercover Other. I took a pink and, see the colors are going to blow out a little bit probably on the screen. So these are the remaining colors. This is actually what's on the cuff right here. Wait, let me take these out of the plastic so they're not shiny. This is going to be the color that I'm going to use. I don't know the name of it. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember. But yeah, this is going to be the pocket. So this will be right here. And then I'll use the color that I put on the sleeve cuff. That'll be the trim, the pocket trim, right? It's also this. And then the neckline trim will be this color. So it'll be this like more neutral color. What I will do on the neckline trim as well as what I did on the cuff is I will be tipping it with the Blackberry Jam color. I did that on the bottom trim because I ran out of yarn. That was the only reason. It wasn't because I was like, oh, wouldn't it look cool, look tipped. The pattern called for this to be 3 inches and I wanted to make it 3 inches, and yeah, I ran out. So I'm not going to run out of this though for either thing, and I'm not going to tip the pockets because above the pockets will be this Blackberry Jam color, but I will tip the neck color. So yeah, somewhere along here, this is where the increases stopped. It's a little low, I think, but I have to trust that once I get the neckline trim on there, which will be, so it's rolling back, that's what you're seeing in terms of this to this. I have to trust that it's gonna work, because so far this pattern's been a dream to knit. It really has been. It's very, very clear, and there were notes about how to make modifications, which I really appreciated. There were notes about how to make the sleeve a little bit bigger, and there were notes about how to do waistline shaping, which I did on it, and I really like the way it came out with that. And I did make this slightly longer than the spec called for. I really wanted it to go over my belly, and it probably should have ended maybe here. I just, yeah, my days of wearing crop sweaters are behind me. Middle age has set in, so yeah. But yeah, that's beautiful. I can't wait to block it and see how much these cables stretch out. I think on Martha right now, the way I have it pinned, it's stretching out a little bit close to how it will be. But on the side, you're not seeing it nearly as you know, they'll be much more stretched out when I block it, and it should be really pretty. So yeah, this has been, I'm supposed to have been done with it by February 28th, and that obviously, I'm very close though. I didn't make it, so I have been pretty monogamous knitting on this, though the next whip that I'm going to show you, I did knit on two. The next whip I have, which should be familiar to you if you're a returning viewer, this is my a pullover that I've designed, and it is a worsted weight version of my Big Bear ski bum sweater, which I'll put a picture in right here so you can see it. This one is my ski bum sweater is 3 colors. This one is just 1. I will have the pattern written. This is worsted weight versus fingering weight. I will have the pattern written so that you can do the 3 colors if you want in worsted weight. But the textures and everything is exactly the same as ski bum. So this one's going to be called Big Bear Snow Bunny, because this idea of, like, if you're not exercising, if you're a snow bunny, that means you're probably not exercising. You're sitting around and sipping coffee or something more potent, and you're watching the other people ski. So that's the idea of a snow bunny. So I thought this would suit that. This heavier weight sweater would suit the snow bunny's mystique. Plus, it's just this beautiful, beautiful worsted weight Cormo from Stone Wool Yarns, which is just this gorgeous, squishy, beautiful, textured, just naturally textured worsted weight yarn. So beautiful. I can't wait. It's so squishy and soft, and I just can't wait to block it and see it bloom. And yeah, my one thing, it's March. It's March. And worsted weight sweater weather is, you know, quickly leaving. So this will be done this week, though. I only have the sleeves left to do, and the collar, and this should be done this week, and it should be published shortly after. So I hope to have this published by early next, not this Monday coming, but like, maybe I might have it published sooner. My university's on spring break this coming week, so I will have extra time that I won't be spending grading or working on committees or anything like that. So hopefully, maybe I'll get the pattern completely cleaned up and written. Yeah, that would be awesome. Really awesome. I can't wait to, I may get 1 or 2 wearings in before it gets too warm. We'll see. But I'm learning a lot about the hand knit market, and like what are the things that hand knitters look for. And I am recognizing that DK and worsted weight sweaters are more desirable just because fingering weight, oh my goodness, this is fingering weight. I didn't design this, but I'm knitting it, and this has gotta be one of the most fine gauge sweaters that I've made in a while. It's all knit on US size 3, where this is, which is 3.25 millimeter. And if that's wrong, I'll fix it on the screen. This is knit on US size 9, which I don't know the millimeter, but I'll put it on the screen. And this goes so fast. This goes so fast. That's why I know I'm going to get it done this week, especially because the deadline for this is passed. But both of these sweaters, next time you see me, I'll have both of these done. I'm pretty sure, unless something goes awry. I didn't cast anything new on over the last couple weeks because I've really been working hard on getting this guy done. But what I also want to do is I've pulled out a couple of whips that I've had languishing, and I ended up frogging a whip from last summer that was a new design, and just going back to that idea of addressing what today's knitter wants. I had been writing the pattern in pieces, and I don't know why I was doing that. Like in hindsight, I was like, why did I do that? Like there's no reason why. I'm trying to do my new designs this year. My goal, not Big Bear because that's already a written pattern, but my new patterns will be top-down knits and relatively seamless, if not completely seamless. I'm really trying hard to do that because I think that's what knitters want. It seems like that's the trend, to do top-down seamless sweaters. So that I ended up frogging that sweater. It's a spring weight sweater, so I have it tentatively planned as a March knit. I don't know if it's going to happen in March, but even if I release it, I was thinking as late as June, it's still fine. Because as I said in my last video where I updated you, fingering weight sweaters are really awesome. Even like especially here in the Northeast, I don't know how it is. Like probably I would think anywhere that there's air conditioning, like having a fingering weight sweater, like this is such a lightweight sweater, like balling it up and throwing it in a handbag or throwing it in a shoulder bag to take to the movie theater or to dinner or, you know, even to the office. It's going to be really, really nice to have, and it's going to feel, you know, it'll take the chill off that air conditioning seems to do. So I think even a short sleeve, this design I have is a short sleeve sweater. I think it'll be really nice for as a spring release pattern. So my design wise, I'm concentrating on, I'm going to finish Big Bear, then I'm going right into the shawl that I talked about last week, a new shawl design, and as well as working on the short sleeve sweater. And those will be my two push for spring summer. My goal is to release a pattern every other month this year. Last year I released a pattern every month. That was a lot. I want to be able to participate in other sweater things. I want to work on other people's designs because I learn so much as I do other people's designs. So I have a couple sweaters in mind, but I haven't pulled the yarn together to show you. Next update, I'll talk to you about that. Maybe I'll even cast them on. So yeah, those are my works in progress. I do want to show you one that I am going to, I have the Doodler too, which the Doodler must be done. I'm going to show you this quickly. I haven't really made a lot of progress on it. I think I'm on wedge 13 or 11, but this is a Stephen West pattern. I've stopped in the middle of the row, so I can't really stretch it out too much, but it's a Stephen West pattern that you knit. I jokingly say it looks like a butterfly wing. I'm knitting this along with the Christy Glass knit along that she's doing just on Sundays, and it's a very, very reasonable pace, like easy to follow along. The yarns I'm using, this is Garn Story Bliss. She's still making this. You can get this. This is 100% merino superwash, and I am using I blanked on the. Oh, this is Ching Fibers Satellite. This was a special color that she made for last year's spring. It was just a one-off. It's not a color that she's making all the time. And then I have the ruffle color. Yeah, it's way far away. I'm not going to be able to reach it without looking really silly. The ruffle color that I'm using, I'll show you next time because I should have that done. If you remember, or if you're a new viewer, I am making this for my niece, and her birthday's coming up in 3 weeks. So I need to get moving on that, and I will. I absolutely intend to have that done by by her birthday. So yeah, so Big Bear Snow Bunny, the Stanham cardigan by Blackberry Yarns, and the Doodler will be my priority this week and the next week too. And then when I get one of those off the needle, this knit that has been languishing, this languishing whip, will come to the forefront. This is my own pattern. It is, where is it? It is called The Shawl That Lived. It's inspired by Harry Potter. The contrasting color, which is LC on here, makes the color of, the shape of a lightning bolt based on the Harry Potter forward lightning bolt. I'll put a picture in here of the finished garment, or the finished shawl. But this is, I'm not too far along. This is I'm on the, what would you call this? This is the second section, I guess, of it. There is a little bit of lace. It's a super easy yarn over and increase decrease kind of deal. A lot of it is this garter stitch, and then there's a little very easy lace border that goes around the edge. Let me tell you about the yarns. The multicolored one that you're seeing here is called Zipline. It's by Primrose, and the Primrose yarn company on her Sophia base. It's so soft. It's so soft. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I don't have a plan to either. I mean, I'm probably going to keep it because it's just so beautiful. The pink here is from Teeny Buttons Studios. She's out of New Orleans, and New Orleans here in the US, and it's part of her Harry Potter collection. Her Harry Potter yarns are amazing. If you love Harry Potter and you want Harry Potter yarns, Teeny Buttons is the place to go. Because her colors, she does a monthly color that's really, really cool and beautiful, and it's a surprise color. And if you don't like surprises, you can buy. What she does is she posts her colors that are 2 or 3 months past. She'll put them up, and yeah. So this is Hagrid's umbrella. I just love it. It's a really beautiful tonal pink. Let me show you. I'm not really pink crazy like some people. Some people really, really love pink. I like pink. I like pink as much as I do all the other colors. Not to say that it's not a go-to color for me, but this was Hagrid's umbrella. Remember, his umbrella was pink in the book. It was so beautiful. And for that reason, I just really loved it. And I just loved it with this Zipline color. Here it is. This is like a neutral base with pops of neon pink and neon yellow and blues and greens and some black speckles. The 2 skeins that I got from Primrose were different, so I am alternating skeins so that they were visibly different to me. I usually alternate skeins. This particular yarn, this sweater, I did not alternate skeins. Because when I caked up those skeins, they all look the same color. There was no discernible difference. So I thought that it would be relatively safe to not alternate skeins. And I think I switched. Can't even tell anymore. I added a second skein somewhere around here, and yeah, you can't even tell. But these, let me show you. I will show you. These 2 zip lines, I don't remember. I think I bought them together. I don't know if I picked them out or if I ordered online and they were shipped to me. These 2 Zipline colors are quite different. So you can see one has a lot more black in it. And the other, it looks a little darker. The colors are deeper. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't noticeable. So I am alternating skeins. Yeah. This shawl pattern, if you're interested in knitting it, is a 3-skein shawl color or pattern. You need a skein and a half of this, of the main color. You need 1 full skein, about 400 yards of the contrast color. And then there's a 3rd color. For me, on this one, I'm using this color right here, whose name I don't remember. Do I have the taggy? I'm not sure if I have the tag. I'm not going to dig for it. I will put it on the screen. But this is a Twisted Fintch color. And Nathan he's in Great Britain. Look how beautiful this is. This like deep purple with shots of, like, it's a really, really red purple with shots of a very, very blue purple, like a periwinkle almost. In it, it's so pretty, and I just think it's the perfect anecdote to these pastels, like that idea of like pastels with these dusky colors, these like deep muted colors. So that'll be my trim color. You need half a skein for your trim. So conceivably you could make it a 2-color shawl. It's designed as a 3-color shawl, but you could do 2 colors if you so intended. And just one last thing to tell you about the design. That lightning bolt pattern drapes on the body beautifully. You can see more pictures on my pattern page. That point over your shoulder, so if you like drape it around and throw that point over your shoulder, it's just the perfect counterweight to keep the shawl from falling, from like sliding off you. So unless you use like really silky yarns, it should stay on you quite nicely. Yeah, so this is a languishing whip. It's been probably hanging around since about the holiday time. I put it down to knit other things over the holidays, like presents for people and things like that. But yeah, I wanna crank it out and finish it. And plus, you know, it's like shawl weather in the Northwest is all the time. So either you're wearing them tight around your neck to keep the cold out, or you're wearing them over your shoulders to keep the cold out in the warmer weather. So yeah, so I want to finish that, get that done. So yeah, those are my whips. Let me show you stash acquisitions, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about design, because it relates to my stash acquisitions. I signed up in January to get a Outlander theme kit from Family Tree Yarns. Family Tree Yarns is in the UK. She did an Outlander kit that included a skein of sock yarn. This is it, called Outlander. So pretty, right? It's her sock 80-20 superwash nylon, superwash merino, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And it came with this cute little skein, contrasting skein. Let me show you. Let me show you how they look together. It's really meant for socks, but I'm not a sock knitter, as you know, if you're a returning viewer, and surprise. The green is called, I don't know. I'm having a hard time reading that. Glencoe? Maybe it says Glencoe. Glen something, right? Glen, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really not sure. Something Outlander. Anyway, those are pretty together. And then along with that in the kit, we also got this thistle, Scottish Rose. The Scottish Rose. Thistle project bag, sock size. And look how pretty those look all together. They're all like very tonally similar. And then she sent a little bag with a, if I can show you this well, with a thistle stitch marker and a little bag of tea and some chocolate. Yeah, I forgot that I ordered that. Yeah, Outlander's coming back, so it's like perfect timing for Outlander. And then besides that, the only other yarn I bought myself some yarn for my birthday. It was my birthday last week on the 23rd of February, so I was keen to watch a couple of the sales that were happening. And I was watching a Woolenvine podcast where she showed this color right here. It's called Taro. It's really pretty. I was sort of laughing at myself because it looks really similar. You know, can't say I'm not consistent. It looks really similar to this. Maybe they'll play together at some point. I would say the Twisted Finch one is a little bit more muted. This is a little bit brighter, this Wool and Vine. The name of it is called Tarot. This is on her Nouveau base, which is a singles base yarn. It wasn't the base I wanted. I really wanted the Volk base, but happenstance. So I also got this skein. This is called Dirty on Purpose. It's a gray gray base with brown and I guess some kind of golden speckles. So it's just a really good neutral. Like, I seem to like all the pretty colors, so to have a nice neutral to put with those colors is really cool. Yeah. So that's what I got. This color, Tarot, just to tell you, this is one of her regulars. Dirty on Purpose is one of her regulars, and this is a regular base. Tarot is a new color that she just came out with. It was what she calls a strange brew, which is like a random color that was in her dye pot, and she's made this a regular color for, at least for the time being. It seems like, so I don't know if you are a Wool and Vine fan too, but she really sort of follows her mood of the moment. So she'll have colors and then they'll disappear, just, you know, without any notice. So if you like the color, you should jump on it now. And if you haven't shopped her yarns before, they are probably one of the highest prices indie dyed yarns that I've seen. They are also hard to get. She does really small batches. Clearly she's not in this to make a shit ton of money. Sorry to curse, but I don't know how else to emphasize that word. But yeah, it seems like she really just kind of does whatever she feels like that week, and that's cool. I mean, we all want to live that way, right? Just do whatever we feel like that week. So yeah, there's not a lot of stock. So it's high priced, not a lot of stock. So it's kind of exclusive, I guess, is a way to look at it. And also very, very frustrating to buy if you buy from her website and that's the only way to buy it. So why do we punish ourselves? I'm not really sure. So I don't know. For me, I just am like, I never go into her sales thinking that I'm going to be able to buy a sweater's quantity, because you never know. She never posts like how many skeins. So as I was buying those skeins last week, I actually tried for the Tarot color to be on the Volk base, but by the time I got to check out, somebody else had cart jacked me, and apparently that's something that a lot of indie dyers have modified their sites so that you don't get cart jacked, and that's really nice, really, really nice. So, but Kristen doesn't do that. She doesn't modify her site to help the buyer, to improve the buyer's experience. It's just all about, it's like this frenzy sale thing. And I can tell you that sale, I think she was still loading stuff. I kept refreshing. She was still loading yarn, and yarns were selling out. And I think everything was sold out in 8 minutes. The sale went on at 10 a.m. and by 10:08, everything was gone. Everything was gone. And I just think that, one, it's small quantity, and also two, there's no modifications in her site that keep things from being cart jacked. So that's super frustrating. Super frustrating. But if you're okay with just having a skein here, a skein there, whatever, it doesn't matter. And if you don't get it, you know, there's a lot of other dyers out there that are making similar things, clearly, because I have a skein very similar to this from another dyer. Nothing against Kristen. I do really like her work, clearly. Honestly, like, can I say, I don't think I've said this before on the site. Her MCN base, which is, MCN stands for Merino Cashmere Nylon. Her MCN base is like none other. It's the same content, but there's something really soft about it. Like, I don't know if it's her processing or maybe it's the particular mill she buys from. I have seen other one or two that come very close, which I'm pretty sure they're getting it from the exact same mill. Yeah, but it's super soft, and there's something about the way that she processes it, or maybe it's just from the mill or something like that, but it's softer than most MCN bases, even though they're the same content. Yeah. Okay, one other acquisition. That's my Woolen Vine rant. It's not really a rant. It's just kind of like just giving you just. It's this Amorusu magazine, and if you're not familiar, Amorusu is published in Japan. It is a really, I would say, it has a very sophisticated bend to it in terms of design. They use no, I don't know if I've ever seen any dyers, but a lot of like small production yarn houses. Let me show you their yarns. One sec. Should have put a flag in here, right? The yarns that they used in this issue, which, so I love that they do this. This is like a page that has, let's see, that way. So these are the yarns that they used in this issue. Are all right here. So all these neutrals, and you can see they were like Yoth Daughter yarn, Lichen and Lace, Brooklyn Tweed yarn, Stonewall. So they used the Stonewall, same as I did. All in these neutral tones. Woolfolk, Quince & Co., Daruma Junmo, and Pearl Soho Lineweight, which was cool. So yeah, I just wanted to also share with you. So here's my design content. So in January of last year, when I first decided to start publishing patterns, I decided in November to start publishing patterns, but I had published my first pattern other than Christmas stockings sometime in January. But at the same time, I also realized that there's a whole cadre of new magazines besides Vogue Knitting that were about knitting and fairly new. This is issue 15, just to give you an idea, and it's a quarterly issue, so that means it's only about 3 years old, maybe on its 4th year. And I submitted, I wanted to do a submission to start getting published. So I just want to share with you what it goes into doing a publication. So Amorusu had published a call for entries, call for submissions, and they made a mood board, which I'm going to put in right here so that you can see. I'm going to put 2 pictures of 2 different mood boards that they had. They've disassembled it. I had kept pictures of it, so I have some of the pictures. And I thought about what did I want to wear. I didn't really know a lot about that magazine or a lot about what their customer is like, and I just looked at their mood board and put together a design. So this was what I designed. It's a little, it's a hoodie with a mosaic knitted pattern here and solid, natural colored solid sleeves and a hood. This is the back view. And then this is the spec that I did for the sweater to just give them an idea. What I didn't recognize, so actually last year hoodies were really big on the runway. So I was looking a lot at the runway. And I also swatched for them. So this is the pattern where you saw the red and white on the sketch. Let me show you again. Show you that with that. So they got all of these to understand my design. Okay. And you saw the mood board, so you can kind of see where I went. But in looking at the magazine, they eliminated red. So even though red was on the mood board, there was no red in this magazine. And they published this. So this is a design that got chosen. And it's not too far off from mine. Mine is a hoodie. This is not. This is more of a tunic style. Let me see if there's one that shows the length of it. I actually think it's maybe a little bit more cropped than mine. So that's the pattern that they picked. And they only publish, just like all the magazines, they all only publish about 10 or 12 patterns, some of them even less. And usually 1 or 2 of those are hats, and there's also socks that they publish. So, yeah. So just to let you know, like, that is what goes into designing for publication, like whether you're working with a yarn house or whether you're working with a magazine. So this week, besides doing the knitting that I did on this and on my Big Bear Snow Bunny, I also worked up another submission for publication. This was that submission that I just showed you is the only submission that I've done for Amorusu. I've done submissions for a couple other magazines, like Pom Pom and I can't remember what else. There were a couple others. But anyway, I'm working on a submission right now for a magazine that I can't show you because it's not allowed to be published before they view it. That would automatically disqualify it. And you know what's so funny though too? Every single time I put together a design for a submission for publication, I always think to myself, this is so beautiful. Like, I'm going to design this and publish it myself if they don't pick it. And I haven't done that yet, but I do have some things like in the back of my mind, like this hoodie. I have a version of it that I think I'm going to publish. I don't know, I may do it this year. I'm trying to be picky, or like selective, I guess is the better term, about what it is that I work on and what it is I publish. And as I told you in my last update video, I have a shawl design that I'm working on, as well as I talked about the short sleeve sweater, and those are the two that are probably coming up next because those are good spring knitting. The DK sweater that I talked about in my last update video, I'm planning on working on that this spring, late spring and summer. That'll be for late summer, early fall publication. I am planning for that to be my Rhinebeck sweater. And we'll see what happens. So I also like to be open. I want to keep time to do other things. So I have actually speaking of pom-pom, there's a pom-pom sweater that I really want to make. I'll put the picture in right here so you can see it. But anyway, I think that's it. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. That would really help my channel grow, and my channel's so tiny right now and I really want to get in front of more people. I think I have like a unique perspective and I hope you enjoyed watching, and please share with friends if you want to. Yeah, all of those, and have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye.